Well, I'm super excited. Sam's Club has diesel fuel back in stock. Funny to say it that way, but yeah, it was much cheaper. Let me finish fueling and I'll show you a shot of what the prices are. So gasoline regular is $3.64 or 3.649. Basically $3.65 a gallon. Woohoo! I have it $4.86 basically a gallon diesel. Such a deal. So if you have a pickup and you know you're going to be traveling through rain, potentially heavy rain, I'm going to try this. Hopefully it works well. I think it should. Put a small pallet in the bottom of the bed so if the bed fills with water, things won't be sitting in that. And then take it's a 10 by 12 tarp. I kind of draped it over the cab so that as I pack things in, I'll do hospital corners like a bed sheet and pack it down, and then put over all of that this cargo net to keep things from blowing around and flopping about. But that should keep us dry on our journey through the rain. Trying hard. We all had a chance to run the steam engine, number 70, named Cinderella. Why'd they call her Cinderella, do you think, Cody?
She throws cinders everywhere.
Everywhere.
Good. Cold.
She was fun. A lot of fun. Well, I must say it's refreshing to be able to see Christian-based stuff and stores in a theme park. Here at Dollywood with Cody and Mom, Karen. Connor's off riding roller coasters that nobody else wants to ride, but the story behind me, you might have to freeze frame to read it, but the dogwood tree story, just amazing to see something like this in a theme park. Quite a contrast from what we would see at Disney or any of the California-based or Florida-based theme parks, where you've got just a lot of Christian stuff going on. A lot of the music, entertainment folks that we were listening to were gospel, Christian-based songs. There's a t-shirt, it was kind of a jab at one of the companies, I forget which, but "Why wish upon a star when you can pray" was one of the t-shirts you can buy here. So just phenomenal. Pretty relaxing time that we've had here. Although Cody, I think, is kind of tired and done with anything. What do you want to do next?
I don't know.
Ride Cinderella?
I guess.
Okay. We'll go ride Cinderella and call it a day. So while we were out and about at Dollywood, I picked up I call it a railroad cart. It's like a luggage cart. So it took 3 of us to get it on the truck. It's one of those old timber and cast iron kind of carts. But I'm going to take the bucket off of the tractor. We'll put the forks on, and I'll drive around and get that unloaded. So I can do it by myself. Connor's in the shower for his normal 2-hour morning shower. And Thor is happy to be back with us. He's way off there in the distance, rolling around, hanging out, waiting for us. And then, then we go to church. So somehow I got to mow the lawn today. It's getting pretty long here. So it's supposed to rain though. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But we'll get it all done today, and we'll have fun doing it. All right, so there's the cart. So I got to figure out how to get the forks narrow enough and get that lifted up. And Thor, get that onto the ground, and I'm going to open up the doors over there. I'm going to just pop it into the shed for now. Yeah, the other cool thing I found was a slice of rail from a railroad. So I'm going to make that into an anvil. Neat thing is it's got a curved top on one side and flat on the bottom. So depending on how you flip it. Then I got this. It's the first time I've really had a good chance to look at it well. So the Fairbanks company S18. It's got rubber coated wheels. This, I'm wondering, looks like it's just bolted in there. I may have to find some new screws. But they welded this to the plate so you can't lift the handle out. So depending on what I do with it, either make it into a coffee table or use it in the shop. But the Fairbanks 18, oh, they're threaded. That handle couldn't be threaded though, so bumpers need a little bit of help. Not a big deal, just tighten those up. Axles look in good shape. I need to grease those up a little bit. Not sure even how you would do that. I don't think there were bearings in this. So I'm guessing it's just grease on grease. But all of the wheels look really good. This swivel doesn't look like it wants to swivel. Maybe oh, it's sitting up against the forks. But all in all, in good shape. Got a good deal on it. Was really surprised. Anyway, let's get the shed doors open. Get this thing in there. Just walked out. There was a deer eating the fresh cut grass out here. It's just right out here. I think I spooked him. He bounded out over there. Oh, there he is. Right there. And there's another deer just out past him. Her, I guess. Can't quite tell now that I can't see her head. She's stomping like, let me know I'm here. Don't try anything. That's awesome. I gotta finish mowing the lawn. I got most of it done. Yeah, that's a doe. So I got most of it done. I got this section here along the side, kind of towards where the doe and the fawn are. So I got this little section and then all the way around the back. At the front yard mowed, both the north and the south lawns with one charge, and now, I don't know, it's just not doing the full yard with one charge. Do I trade this thing in? Nobody wants to buy it though. Or do I just buy a Kubota mower and use that and use this thing as like a trim mower? It pulls the sweeper pretty well, and it's nice and quiet, especially when you're not running the blades. So it's kind of fun to do that, but I don't know. I got to figure something out. All right, so I just discovered another tortoise den. He's got one here. This guy over here, who's kind of staring at me, his house is down there along that side of the fence line. We've got one out here in front and one out in the lawn. So yeah, I don't think these things are actually endangered. I think these things are populating just fine. At least in our area. Either that or everybody keeps dumping their gopher tortoises down in our area so they build dens. I don't know, but yep, we got lots of them. Yeah, just kind of a lazy rainy day here in Florida. Even the cats snoozing and getting along much better. So I'm trying to figure out where this hydraulic leak is on the front of the tractor. Realize I've not really talked too much about some of my projects lately. I just kind of get involved in them and haven't recorded too much about them. But the one I'm trying to figure out at the moment is this fitting, either here or on my grapple, is leaking. and I'm not really sure how to tell because I just end up with these really oily hoses at the end of the day. And so here's the grapple line. It's the one on the top there that ends up just coated in oil. And it seems it's from the spring clip all the way down. So I'm not sure how to do that. Maybe next time I put the grapple on the tractor, I'll just wrap some towel around it, maybe see where it gets wet. Cycle it once or twice and see. I mean, it's not like it's squirting anywhere, so if anybody has any tips on how I can figure out where a slow, small leak is on a hydraulic line, leave a comment or something. I'm just desperate to try and figure this one out. I had to top off the hydraulic fluid in the tractor this morning because it's just it's leaked out a little bit. Let me show you another one. I didn't record, but I'll show you what I discovered also on another round of tasks during the day. So I ended up with this really cool shooting range, but as I understand it, the story goes that this path that I'm walking down now is the same path that a bulldozer went through to clear a fire break. I think the fire was started here. Well, we know it was set by the owner. He was trying to burn out the previous owner, that is, some of the palmetto that was around here. But I think this is where it started, and I think it went away from us towards that corner. That's why you see so many dead trees out there. It all kind of burned out into that space. But the path I'm walking on was where the bulldozer took its path through. And I'm not sure if my backstop is where he stopped and then backed up and did something else. But I do know that in here, if you remember, this is where I cleared out all of that broken concrete and kind of filled it back in with some dirt or sand that I got from over in this area over here. But what I did find, and I did clear it out yesterday afternoon, is in this area there was some more broken concrete. So I don't know if the bulldozer came through this way or did come through, mound that up against the tree and then stop and turn and kind of cut over this way. But in this low spot here, I found some more broken concrete. And there was a mound. There's like a berm. So as if the bulldozer had come through there. So maybe this path here, he came across either there or I've cleared where my broken concrete is. I suspect it was where the broken concrete was, is where he backed up and took another swath at it. And then that stuff kind of got piled up here. And then we ended up with this berm here. And I've taken some of the dirt from that pile there. That berm was much higher. That's what I used to build up the back side of my backstop, just so I had a little bit more. But anyway, long story short, and I think that's where he went and then took at the end of that path kind of a right and hooked over to keep it from going into the Mormons' property. They've got 1,200 acres behind us here. So I suspect that's what happened. But so yeah, yesterday I spent a lot of time. There was probably literally about 2 tons, about 2,000 or 4,000 pounds of concrete, about 2-inch thick, like a slab that was all broken. So I tractored that out, and I'll show you the pile that I have now. So there's the pile off in the distance. I'll walk up to that in a minute, but I forgot to mention, I put some plywood up on top of our well, underneath that tank right there. That is our pressure tank. And I think my issue is that the sun comes through and was beating on that tank, heating it up. So I'm going to try and add a little bit more shade. So this is my experiment. And see if shading that and keeping the direct sunlight off of it, I can keep that tank from heating up. What happens is you turn on the cold water in the house and it runs cold for a little while, and then all of a sudden it runs hot, almost as if it were the hot water faucet that you pulled. So That's the only place I can think of that came from, that's coming from, is the pressure tank. I put my hand on the other tank in there. It isn't getting as hot. It isn't a metal surface, so maybe it's not transmitting the heat as much. But anyway, so this is my new pile, new bigger pile. Most of those large slabs on top and a lot of this stuff here on this side, I added from that. So it almost, I'd say I added about a third more to it. So 2/3 of it was from the original move, and this is another third. Now my trouble is I got to figure out what to do with all this. I really don't want to have all this broken concrete on the property. So do I smack it with a sledgehammer, right? And try and get them all down into these manageable pieces like this one? And then haul it to the dump in the pickup? Or what? But sitting there, that's probably, I'd say 6 tons at least. 6 or 8 tons. My little half-ton truck, that's a lot of trips. My trailer, which has a beautifully crafted wood deck, it'll probably hold, well, I know it'll hold 2 tons on it, and then I could haul that. But that's a lot of weight to put it. I'm like, that's the max this thing will carry. It's about a 2,000 pound gross weight, or tar weight trailer, and then I can put it about 4,000 pounds on it. I don't know if I want to do that either. I got to figure out a solution to this. Maybe I just hire somebody to come out and haul that stuff away. But that's probably at least a dump truck, and I know that's about $600 just to get somebody to come out and do that. Anyway, that's my quandary. That was my week, my chores. Oh, and I got the lawn mowed, so that was fun. It only took 1.5 charges to finish. Anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to. Hopefully that gives you an idea of where I've been at, what I've been doing. I am trying to build the channel up. If you could subscribe and hit like or comment or something along those lines, that would be awesome. That way I maybe can start getting out there and see if this is something that I should elaborate on. Anyway, take care. God bless. Wow, these things like crop up so quickly. This was not here yesterday or the day before. It's got a mound like a fire ant mound, but these guys are tiny. So maybe it's a young fire ant, but I know how to fix them. We'll get them poisoned. It's like right next to the front walkway, so. Keeping the bad critters at bay here is an ongoing challenge, but it's not huge. I mean, the bad critters here aren't like terrible. But if I don't keep on something like that, it'll spread and I'll start seeing more of them. This is one of the first ones I've seen in a while that's a fire ant mound. Anyway, good times.